Central Cee or Gunna in a rap battle?
I think that's rhetorical,
Okay.
but let us know in the comments. Good afternoon, beautiful people. This is another episode of Album Mode. We review a new album every single week. We look at the lyrics, the production, the overall aesthetic of the album, and how that album fits into the context of that artist's career. My name is Adriel Smiley, a.k.a. AdrielSmiley.com, a.k.a. Adriel Smiley Official, a.k.a. The Godfather. We are here like we are every single week with His Royal Highness, King Grant.
Welcome back, people. We're back. This time with fan favorites, I would say. People are big on these two artists, Dave and Central Cee, okay? They have dropped an EP called Split Decision. And I would like to say that we are not here every week because somebody was on vacation.
I was, yeah.
Somebody was on vacation.
Well, we weren't here.
Yeah.
But we're in your earlobes.
Yeah, we're in the earlobes every week. But yeah, so Central Cee, Dave, the most unlikely, personally.
I feel like you say that for every combo. I'm not gonna lie.
But sometimes the combos are random.
Honestly, they're mostly not random.
This feels like to me.
Why? Yeah, tell me why this is random before we begin. Why is this random?
I think musically, right? When I've listened to both artists, I think their entire discographies, right? Dave, very serious. All of his music is very, extremely lyrical, storyteller, poet type shit, right? Every song has like a message or there's like literally a story inside of it. Central Cee, we remember we're talking about Ice Spice, pop drill, right? Talking about girls, talking about our life. All the music videos are bright and colorful, okay? Central Cee, heartthrob right now. I don't know if you don't think so, you ask your girl, okay? Central Cee is a Central Cee is a heartthrob right now. So I just think the artistry is coming from very separate places on the spectrum, basically opposite ends, right?
Okay, that's
so
fair.
That's why I'm like, oh, this is a mad random combo. This is like if I'm trying to think like if JID was doing a collab album with like, I don't know, like Ice Spice, he'd be like, what the fuck? That's
very interesting.
Right?
That's very interesting.
They exist in the same genre. Of course, they know them. One of my friends told me that actually they're very good friends. They've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
But the the artistry is the thing that is like, wait, what? How did this happen?
And I kind of understand that because Dave, for anyone who doesn't know, is definitely more of an introspective artist. His last project that we reviewed, a lot of thoughts going on. Yeah, and it's crazy because the album before that, Psychodrama from Dave,
very deep as well.
People call it one of the most depressing, amazing albums of that year. So not what Central Cee is about. Central Cee is definitely partying bullshit. He says that sometimes on the project. But I saw the enjoyment because I also knew that they were friends. Dave is kind of like people have been comparing Dave to Nas since 2017. Dave is like the prodigy of UK rap.
Right.
In fact, he's only 25 after all he's done is this crazy to say. Central Cee is up and coming. And Central Cee kind of had the most overnight success I've seen from a UK artist, maybe in the history of grime, because he had been bubbling a little bit. He was kind of the person like you only knew he was listening to UK rap.
Yeah.
And then, the last summer.
Yeah, he broke through.
Everything changed. First UK rapper to achieve 1 billion Spotify streams in a single year. Both these guys are only 25 years old, born a day apart. They led with Sprinter as a single that came with a video as well. And that tape was like a surprise little EP on the Sunday. I think this is kind of like why I've been saying, go back to last week or Arlo Parks, why I've been saying the UK is the best, where the best music is coming from, because these two joined together and make an EP. There's no version of this in America.
Yeah.
This maybe would have been 15 years ago, 10 years ago, if Schoolboy Q and A$AP Rocky did that EP they were talking about, or Kendrick and Cole did that EP they were talking about.
Yes.
There's so many versions of people coming together doing that project that ultimately never happened. This time it actually happened. I mentioned before there's a difference between a Dave fan and a Central Cee fan. The Dave fan, for the most part, usually is a real UK rap fan. They're somewhat tuned in. They don't only know Tiny Tempa. It goes a little deeper than that.
Right.
Central Cee is for if you're a new UK rap fan. Over the past 18 months, UK rap came into your orbit. Central Cee is probably your favorite. So for all the Central Cee fans out there, we see you, we love you.
Yeah.
But most times people are not Central Cee fans from the GRM Daily days. So,
oh my God, GRM Daily.
Yeah. So that is kind of why I like this, because yes, they're both really popular right now, and they have this line where it says, "Shouldn't listen to UK rap unless it's Dave or Central."
Yeah.
That's very true right now. Like those two are the guys. But Dave is the young OG in this scenario.
Right.
He's been around longer. He's been goated for longer. And so for him to kind of grab Central Cee at a moment like this, I think that was really important.
Yeah, I think the crossover makes a lot of sense for the both of them. You know, you bring the party fun rapper, sometimes heartfelt.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it makes some lovey-dovey songs, to the lyrical, very, like, everything is just dripping in black ink, sadness. I'm depressed all the time. So the combo makes sense, especially with what you said, where, like, you know, one has been around for a long time, one's been around for a short time. So the combo makes sense in that way. And I think it's good for the both of them. I think it's a good, like, a move. I think we're doing what it means overall at the beginning, but
we're leading up to it. We're starting with how it got here. We're leading up to where we're in the present.
Yeah. So I think it's a cool idea. And it's one of those, it's only 4 songs long. It's very short. I think this is probably the shortest project we've ever done on.
Not true.
You don't.
We did Scary Hours.
Oh yeah, we did. We did Scary Hours, and that was a 2-pack. This is a 4-pack.
Doing a 2-pack on album mode?
Yeah, 2-pack on album mode is
crazy.
But that's what happens when you're Drake.
It is what happens when you're Drake.
So yeah, this 4-pack, I think it's good. I think it's a good idea. Really, really good idea. And also they kind of don't step outside of themselves, I think. I think there's more of like a, you know, just on that spectrum we're talking about, I think both of them took a step towards each other.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
To make it seem like it makes more sense that they both belong here. Because if we were doing like a 3 streams or something like that featuring Central Cee, we'd be like, what the fuck is happening right here, right? So I think that there's a good melding. I think they both decided, let's just take a step away from the source material and do some fun stuff. That's what I think about it.
I think about, you know, how we view Dave as Dave fans, as he is a very serious rapper. But as you were talking about it, I thought about Dave has a lot of fun songs, a lot of songs that go up. And it's crazy because this is why I say that Dave is someone who's more a UK rap fan. You got to know his albums and his album cuts. The tones of his projects have that tone. But songs like Location still goes up in the club. Starlight still goes up. Clash. Thiago Silva. Anyone who knows that song, you know how that song goes. Funky Friday, which went #1 in Europe a couple years ago. So you're right. He is that kind of more solemn and sobering lyrically, but he has stepped into the space of making more fun songs. I think what's great about this little EP is that they kind of have a sample of each kind of UK rap production on this project.
Yeah, I realized that too.
They really just did like, okay, we're doing this one over here, this one over here. And that's kind of why it makes sense that Sprinter was the single, because Sprinter, I think, is the most commonly, I guess, heard style of UK rap that people are used to. That drill grime mix is people are most used to. So I think that made a lot of sense as a single. There's not much to choose from, but do you have a favorite song from this EP?
You know, at the beginning, I would say the first couple of listens, it was Trojan Horse, right? Just shooting bars. I like the violins. It sounds like that sounds like Fable, like the video game Fable. Like the
I never
strings,
thought of that. I never thought of that. But with Dave, it's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yes, facts. So the strings on it sounded like, oh, like this sounds like Fable, but in like UK drill fashion. But then recently, and I would say recently as in today,
very recently,
it's changed to Our 25th Birthday is my favorite song.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's more heartfelt, I feel. You know, Kamal, who is, why isn't he not on the feature list? But Kamal has a great sung intro. And then the the verses, especially Dave's, the last one by Dave, I'm like, holy shit, this guy is. It doesn't always have to be deep. Like, I think he's like a very good lyricist, obviously. But to see him not be like super like social with what he does, or have to be like super deep, like you know, coming up from the trenches, what it's like for it to be a story or an idea or lifestyle to but be detailed.
Yes,
is cool to see from him, right? So I think that's what makes it my favorite song. What about you?
I think that UK rap is probably my favorite song. But I think it
really,
yeah, you guys are my favorite song. I think from them just because that's one I've listened to the most recently.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like any of these songs could be your favorite because they all have their own, you know, different sound. And my favorite thing about this project is they go back and forth on basically every song.
Yeah.
And that is like, this is what I said about, you know, there's no American version of this in the same way. Now, we do have some artists like JPEG and Danny Brown who come together and make great projects, but those guys are not on the level.
Yeah, they're on the scale
of Dave and Central Cee. So UK rap is what it is right now for me, but ultimately I think our 25th birthday is the best song on this project through and through. I think when it comes to production on here, there's a thing that Dave really likes a lot, which is like using stringed instruments and like slower drums. It's almost like Brent Fry is how he likes no drums.
Yeah. 25th birthday is a lot like that too.
And 25th birthday is probably the song on here that reminds me both of Dave, that I would say is a Dave-like song. It goes back to his mixtapes when he had songs about like How I Met My Ex and those kind of tracks. Like this is in that group, our 25th birthday. And you talked about them walking towards each other. This is more Central Cee walking towards Dave.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't see Central Cee doing a song like this at this point in his career. Maybe years ago he might have, but at this point he's definitely more party and bullshit. And you know, this is kind of what you need these collab projects for, to get songs that these artists they wouldn't do themselves. Yeah, because I think Central Cee does a great job on 25th birthday. So yeah, that one is a production standout to me because one, you see the influence right there automatically where it's from, and then you get something out of Central Cee that we wouldn't have got.
Yeah, I think, you know, even though that this song is introspective and slow and stuff like that, you know what I thought every time I listened to it, I'm like, this would be a killer Drake feature. And which is something he could secure. Dave is a person that could secure.
They have a song already.
Yeah, Dave could secure a feature for that. And I'm like, you know, most people when they think of a Drake feature, they're thinking of like the pop hit. This is how I'm gonna be number one. It's gonna be bombastic, right? But I think in a scenario like this,
no, you're right. Drake would have killed this.
It would have been a crazy Drake feature, and and you know, it's a nice reminiscent vibe too. That's what I'm like. It's right in Drake's wheelhouse. You know, it's like the very delicate keys, very slow, minimal drums. You know, it's almost like the Underwater Effect.
You know, it's literally almost a Drake song production wise,
right?
Like this could be one of the timestamps.
Yeah, and exactly. So it would have been a nice, cool, like subtle Drake feature, but it's okay. I still love this song. I love Dave's bars in it, where it's he's like, okay, our bread different, don't lie on my name. My tag 787, like I'm flying a nigga. Don't oh my god, my tongue is not working. Don't even worry. I don't drop tears. I took a loss, had to drop tears, made it all back, hit the top tier. For 8 years, Good Morning Britain, I had to change peers. Rocky Balboa, different fights in the same stairs. Cars like drinks, don't leave them unattended in Mayfair. For times I couldn't cover the train fare. It's oysters, the oyster perpetual, and the women incredible. So a lot just dropped in there. But I love like first of all, the 787, you know, you know, like my tax is 787, which is crazy. A great flex. But this section where he's like, I took a loss, had to drop tears, made it all back, hit the top tier. Is a great double entendre, right? Had to drop tears, you know, out here crying. Also, admitting to oneself that I'm like, yo, I have to take a step back. I have to drop tears. That's tough.
That's Dave for you, man. Honest.
That's tough. But then he's like, you know, 8 years, you know, for 8 years, Good Morning Britain, I had to change peers, even had to switch other people that I'm around, you know. and then Rocky Balboa, different fights and the same stairs. So it's like he's kind of showing you that it's like even though you had to take a step back, it's still like fighting, like regardless of what's happening. And then this one of my favorite parts in that is like for times I couldn't cover the train fare, it's oysters, the oyster perpetual, the women incredible. So if people who are listening to this and don't know, use an oyster card to get on the public transit, right, in London. So I just saw like there's a lot of this is a classic Dave. There's a lot happening in a very small sequence of bars, but that is just because it also sounds great. Like the tears, drop tears section sounds incredible. The flow is so good there. So that is like why that's a big part of why I love this song is this Dave verse. And I only gave you a part of it, but that Dave verse in particular, immaculate, bro.
I like this project even existing just for the fact that Dave is kind of like one of the OGs in the UK. He's younger than a lot of people for sure, but a lot of these dudes in the UK who are coming up now can't really, they almost never surpass Dave. They may be more popular than him, but what he means to UK rap, they'll never surpass him.
Right.
And for him to come with Central Cee on the same song, he's showing everyone that like a display of this is what it is. This is who I am. It's not going to change because I think that this is one thing difference between Dave and Central Cee is the lyricism. Central Cee also has some clever bars. Let's not get it twisted.
Yes, he does.
He definitely has some clever bars in here. That's kind of why you love a song like Doja. You don't become like Doja if you don't have some clever bars.
Yeah, he's got very good one-liners.
Yes.
One-liners, two-liners, like they're so good.
And I think like it fits with someone like Dave because Dave also loves these little clever one-liners. Sprinter, their single, I thought they had some clever stuff on there. There's that line where he talks about thick and thin. She's thick, so I'm already there. That was clever, but he has a part in his verse where he says, man, living for Nyash, dying for Nyash, it's fucked. Don't know which one's worse. I'm fucked. Bags in his and hers, what's hers is hers. What's mine is too. Heard that girl's a gold digger. It can't be true if she dated you. Right there is like very, very clever. Taking shots at I don't know who taking shots at in particular, but it's everybody because Dave's also one of the biggest money makers coming out of the UK. There's another song on here where Central Cee talks about making $100,000 a month, and a minute later, Dave talks about making $1 million a month. So he's letting you know there's levels to this. And then I think Dave has that ability to come from kind of the core of hip hop, which is just being clever in the way he puts words together. Bags in his and hers, what's hers is hers, what's mine is too. It's very simple to understand what he's saying there, but how he puts it together, how he delivers it, is what makes that good. So on Sprinter, man, them going back and forth, some great stuff on there.
Yeah, that's I also like the music video for that. I feel like it was vibes. It's a great exactly just vibes. People just having fun, which I think we all deserve.
Yes,
we all deserve. I think that first of all, Dave and Central Cee as a tandem. I think that it works in a lot of ways, but one of the main ways is like I feel like Central Cee is like the punch, like the attitude, and then Dave is like kind of like the person that is like lurking in the shadow, of whatever they do. So it's like the face and the brain, basically, right? And Central Cee is the face, which is great for him. I feel like being the face is working for him right now.
100%. It's definitely working. It's definitely working.
Right? So I think the face is working for him, and then Dave being like the brain behind it all. It's like it gets them both to overlap, especially for the audience.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you're a Central Cee fan, it gets you to see Dave and be like, yo, this guy is going crazy, like on the mic. And then for a Dave fan, you're finally like, oh my God, there's light in rap. People can rap and be happy. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is probably the lightest project Dave's put out in a while.
It legitimately like 5 years.
It's crazy because I think about Location, which is still his biggest song.
Right.
That in the middle of psychodrama was nuts.
Yeah. So I think that the combo works in that way. It's like, wow, just like, a crossover in the sense of like the artistry, it can cross over. I think it's a good way of showing that it can cross over. Where when I was at the beginning of it, I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work, bro.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't have any more lyrics. Do you have any more lyrics where we talk about what this does for their careers and the cover and all that?
What about the production? How are you feeling production-wise?
You know, production, I mentioned a couple things before about kind of that Dave sound on our 25th birthday. But I think that this production is probably, I don't want to say perfect, but they did what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trojan Horse as the intro is like the pop hip hop kind of UK rap. Like I think Heady One, Tion Wayne, like the kind of pop rap style.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they.
Am I a sucker for loving Trojan Horse?
No,
because it's so. Because you almost called it generic, but in a nice way.
No, but it is kind of generic, but it bumps. That's my thing. Is like they didn't need the interesting kind of beat that only some people are gonna understand and enjoy. This was not the project for that.
Right.
Save that for the Dave deep cuts. We don't need that over here.
Right.
You need the generic, like even like calling the last song UK rap. That's for a reason. When you type in UK rap going forward, that's what's gonna come up. People going into Spotify, Apple Music, looking for a UK rap playlist will just find this song by Dave and Central Cee, two of the biggest artists. So they knew what they were doing with this one. So it being generic, usually if it was on their solo projects, I might say they both can do better. But I think for this project, this is a project that's gonna bring a lot of UK fans together and bring people who are not fans of UK rap into UK rap.
Right.
They might be totally fans of American rap and be fans of one of these artists. And now that they have this EP, they'll be diving into the rest. So I like that it's generic in a sense because I think that's easier for some people to kind of understand.
Right. Okay. There is one more lyric. I mean, I do have more Central Cee lyrics, but I'm going to distill it. Right. I'm going to distill. I think there's this one part. This is in Trojan Horse, right? That's why I brought it up. It's like, we don't do. Oh my God. We ain't doing irrational get backs creep up clean when they expect it. When they least expect it. Hygiene's poor. Look at the floor. There's insects crawling. Like I've got sepsis. Nasty's still trying to fuck up my stepsis. Ran through.
Hold that line.
Ran through none of these famous girls, but I still got some of my checklist. Bear gunman on guest list. I took a bro out of the trenches. Jump out the Volvo. Jump out the Lexus. Active. Ain't got no preference. Slapped it, but ain't no retrospected. So. I keep going because it keeps like rhyming, but the expected, right? Insects, then sepsis, then stepsis, checklist, guest list, right? So the is sound is good, but to go from I've got sepsis to I'm trying to fuck on my stepsis is a crazy situation, bro.
Crazy.
And then I think in the next song, he's like, I don't fuck with my stepdad or something like that. So he is, family issues in the Central Cee household right now. There's there's just a lot right now. But that's what I was trying to show with the one-liners, two-liners. Like, you could not catch another rapper dead. This is why I love about certain rappers. This is why I love Tyler the Creator. This is why I like Central Cee. You would not catch another rapper on planet Earth ever trying to say something like that.
No.
But I feel like he established on Doja that I'm going to be out of pocket. I'm just going to be out of pocket,
True.
right? So this is like, it is, I would classify this in the out of pocket category.
Oh, 100%.
But because the flow actually sounds good, the rhyme, the is rap sounds great, and it bounces to different things. It goes from checklists. It goes from sepsis to stepsis to checklist, guest list, trenches. So like, there's a lot of bouncing between the words, and I think that it sounds great. It honestly does. And for somebody like this, for there to be, I would say a good amount of like flow control, and what we're the ideation of like what we're rapping about, for this to be like, this guy is like the not serious kind of party, kind of like not super deep rapper. In the UK, like that is like we've already talked about this where like we feel like the UK rappers are like a step, two step, three steps.
Next level. Yeah. And that's the thing is like even as an unserious rapper in the UK, you have to be able to rap at a certain level.
Yes.
Your content can go wherever you want to take it. That's on you. But at a certain level of skill when it comes to rapping, he's like Central Cee could wrap circles around a lot of guys in America who we consider serious rappers. So
Central Cee or Gunna in a rap battle.
I think that's rhetorical.
Okay.
But let us know in the comments. Central Cee or Gunna?
In a rap battle, who do you think could win a rap battle? Yeah. Like, okay.
That's an obvious one. That's an obvious one.
I remember.
I'm not even going to address that.
And I remember Central Cee is the one who dropped Doja. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And I'll say this before we talk about like the cover and their careers. I think that is what helped Central Cee blow up. And I think why this is a bigger move for Central Cee than it is for Dave is because Central Cee was not Doja before Doja at all. Right. If you heard his freestyles and you've seen any of his videos, he's more closer to even the gigs than he is to someone who makes a song like Doja. Right. That's obviously his biggest song. It made his biggest song for a while, and that's a big part of how people view him. But I think that there is a part of him that he's like, okay, I don't need everyone to look at me like that guy. Right. I have those lines, I can get funny, but you know, he was trying to be the street dude for a long time. So I think he's like, let me come back a little bit, back to my roots. Yeah, he was definitely early. He was definitely, if you go early Central Cee, it was very drill, like very, very for sure. In the streets, trenches drill. And then over time, you can kind of watch him becoming more of like a pretty boy. And I'm just talking about his style, like the visual stylization for his audience. No, last year was the first time I saw Central Cee not wearing a tech fleece. Right, so exactly. So we're at a different timing right now. A whole different time. That's when I was like, oh, he's different now. Yeah, he's different now, right? So I think that's just the difference. I also like in the production that I think this is in it's in Sprinter where they had the Maybach music throw in. That was Maybach music. Yeah, that was good. That was cool. Yeah. But so overall, I think the production is cool. I think that their 808s are really good. They have they're like kind of they sound like they're vibrating all the time. Obviously, the 808s are technically always vibrating, but it sounds more of a rattle. Yeah, more of a rattle, kind of like like water is on the speaker of the 808, and then the 808 is playing. That's what it kind of sounds like versus just like the right. So there's that. I think there's a lot. What you said about there being like every version of the UK rap that they play into. I like that as well. Yeah. I think the production is pretty solid, man. I really like Trojan Horse, 25th Birthday. It's the piano. I feel like that track, like the production for that track, I'm like, man, I heard this so many times. 25th Birthday? Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like I like the song, but I'm like, it's so typical, almost stereotypical. The heartfelt rap song, pianos, minimal drums. 100%. Right? Like that one is just so obvious, but it still worked. No, 100% still worked. Last thing before we talk about the cover of the project, Dave has a lot of production on this album. I think Trojan Horse is produced by Dave. He's on our 25th birthday as well. So shout out to Dave for doing some production. This cover, I think this cover is a really good cover for an album like this because neither of them are on the cover. It's just a car being dragged, off somebody's yacht. Off someone's yacht. And it's like, that's the thing about this project that I'm kind of like focusing on in my head is that these two are probably, and Stormzy would be the third, but these two are probably the most successful UK rappers at this moment, particularly, but probably in the history of UK rap at this point, because UK rap is in its infancy in terms of crossing over to America and these guys making millions of dollars, on a consistent basis. So this car being dragged off a yacht is a great representation of the success that they're having, because someone like Central Cee going from known in the UK, known in the scene, to being how big he is now. Yeah. That would not have happened to anyone 5-10 years ago. He's friends with one of the biggest rappers in the genre, maybe even all time. Yeah, and he's also in TV shows. Yeah, so no, I think I like this cover a lot. One, because their face is not on it, but one, I think this is a good encapsulation of like where we are. Yeah, where we are right now. And so I think I like it too. Everybody knows red is my favorite color. I'm wearing it currently, even right now. I love the red car. I think that you're right. The kind of like the depersonalization of it, like it doesn't have to be their faces. Both of their faces don't need to be on it. If it was longer and maybe if there was more direct like part of it to them, then maybe. But I think it's like 4 tracks. We're vibing out. It's a good time. There's nothing so large that I think it would help
marketability if both of their faces are on it, just because I think Central Cee's face is like, it's the moneymaker right now.
Yeah.
It's maybe not the moneymaker, but it is part of it.
One of.
So I think that would have helped too, but I do like the cover. The cover just looks cool. It just looks cool. There's a lot of different good colors that are happening. I like the white too, so
yeah.
It looks great.
Nah, it looks really good. I think that this is probably a no skips.
Me too.
It's only 4 songs.
Yeah,
so
it's only 4 songs.
Not hard to do, but definitely a no skips. This would be a vinyl cop because it's only 4 songs. Like everything's on one side.
Yeah.
The back side is all
It's
instrumentals.
blank, yeah. Oh yeah.
It's all instrumentals, and so we just get it rocking just like that. But is it the same for you? Did you get this for a vinyl cop?
Yep. Yes, it would be. Maybe they'll drop it on cassette.
Possible.
Maybe they'll get out. If they put it on CD, I may get it on CD and just like it'll be the one CD that's in my car. I literally own 0 CDs.
This would be a crazy CD.
So
one CD in your car.
Yeah, so it would be a CD. I just have it in the car forever.
I'm crossing my fingers for a Dave Central Cee tour. Rumors have been going out. I don't know how true this really is because they're both due for a project. But hopefully we get a Dave Central Cee tour. I'm putting that into the universe. But where are you at with a score for this? It's only 4 songs.
Yeah, it's only 4 songs.
Take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah, so maybe we should do. You know what we should do? It's stars.
Okay.
For the EP, and I think this is 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
4.5. It's 4.5 stars for the EP. I think that there's a lot of good, there's nothing bad. First of all, there's just straight up nothing bad. I think Dave being less serious is a good thing. I think Central Cee being slightly more serious is a good thing as well. Dave's rapping ability is still top notch, and this is more of a lyrical display of what Central Cee can do. It's more of a lyrical display of what Central Cee can do, and it doesn't have to be all poppy. Like he can have, multiple words rhyming in a row, the couplet flows, stuff like that. Like he's got that, right? So I think it's a good display for him overall. I think that the production being like so almost like a template, is like my biggest attraction. But other than that, good stuff, great stuff. What about you?
Yeah, this is a 4 to 5 for me. I think Dave has the better hit songs than Central Cee, and I think that Dave has a lot of good hit collabs, like Funky Friday with Fredo, Thiago Silva with AJ Tracy, Clash with Stormzy, Location with Burna Boy. So I wish that he had done, another real hit with Central Cee,
right?
Because he's shown he's really capable of that,
which was extremely doable. Central Cee is a hit type of dude.
Exactly. So that's what I wish for, just because I've seen Dave have a lot of great hit songs with other people, but that's my only thing I don't like. 4 to 5 for me. Yeah, honestly, a really good project that we didn't know we needed. I remember us asking for this.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm happy to have it.
But yeah, I'm happy to have it. Very important for the culture.
Yeah.
Very important project.
Yeah, it's gonna be good for both of them overall.
Yeah.
Like I don't see there's no downside. Really.
Yeah.
There's no downside. It's all up.
Now this is a good
collab.
Definitely an important one. For everyone who's made it to the end of the podcast, you know what to do. Leave us a rating and a review. 5 stars, not a single star less. Make sure you subscribe to us on all your podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. Of course, get your ass to YouTube and subscribe to us on there as well. Like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to us on YouTube. And then follow us on all your favorite socials: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram @AlbumModePod. And of course, until next time, know yourself, know your worth.
Later days.